All right, now we want to discuss on a topic that revolves around Belanjawan 2025 on how we can empower social enterprises for sustainable growth and impact. We know that social entrepreneurship in Malaysia is a booming sector that addresses social and environmental challenges while striving for financial sustainability. And despite its growth, social enterprises face significant hurdles, including limited awareness, funding difficulties, and a lack of a clear legal framework. And capacity building and market access also remain challenging alongside the complex task of measuring social impact. So how should Belanjawan 2025 focus on this critical sector? Joining me on the line is Ahmad Azwar Zainuddin, the CEO of Satu Creative. Perhaps we could start with first one, Azwar. How can Malaysia craft a regulatory framework that not only accelerates the growth of social enterprises but also safeguards their mission-driven ethics and societal impact?
Foremost, just to share a little bit, I think looking forward to the budget this Friday, social enterprise is, I think, potentially something that can add a lot of value to the Malaysian economy. If you look at globally, social enterprise, according to the World Bank, generates about 2 trillion in revenue and employs 200 million employees, right? So looking at what the government can do, perhaps looking forward, moving to 2025, is to consider, I think, a clearer regulatory framework to allow that a bit of clarity in terms of what is social enterprise. At the same time, having a clear regulatory framework also will provide trust, because when we look at social enterprise, these are businesses that are basically providing social, environmental value, at the same time applying business model that allows them to be more sustainable compared to other models, for instance, charity. So in this regard, the government can do many things. I think 3 things that I would like to share this morning is, one thing is to have a clearer regulatory framework. We have many examples that the government can, follow suit or enhance upon. Secondly, is looking at the funding landscape, because we cannot just promote social entrepreneurship, but we also need to promote the ecosystem. And among the things that can be considered in the budget is to move beyond only grants or traditional financing, but also look at things like bonds or impact investment, something that the government can nurture. And lastly, of course, with social entrepreneurship, it is more complex than it seems. And so with that regard, I think a lot of work could be done in terms of talent development to get the leadership, to get the employees. And lastly, of course, I think one thing the government could support the social entrepreneurship sector is to promote the movement, to get the market excited about this, exciting business model that not only generates employment, creates value like traditional businesses, but also assist with a lot of issues that we are facing today, from climate change to inequality to unemployment to aged care and others. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we're still on discussing on policy and regulatory support. In your opinion, Azwar, what innovative legal structures can the government introduce to distinguish these social enterprises from the transition from traditional businesses to ensure that the only authentic impact-driven enterprises receive the support needed?
Yes. I think in terms of regulatory, I think one thing that the government is doing is to have introduce accreditation for social entrepreneurship. But I think it can go a step further, because at times when it is, managed, not in a scale where it is an act or it is larger, then it doesn't really excite the market. So with that regard, one of the things the government can do is, have a clearer status of what an SE is. And with that regard as well, that requires SEs to behave a certain way. I think among them is being mission locked, commitment to how much revenue that is being generated goes back to the community or environment. And on top of that as well is to have, transparency in terms of impact reporting, framework, structure that the social enterprise can use as a guideline. But at the same time, it also, I think what is more important is to talk to the market, talk to the investment, so that the industry can grow further.
Mm-hmm. And And to ensure that the financing and also sustainable financing and also investment, and considering that with capital access remaining a significant hurdle, how can Malaysia actually develop innovative and also sustainable financing avenues that go beyond grants to empower social enterprises for long-term scalability?
I think, there are already a lot of progress that has been made over the years. I think we look at foundations, corporate foundations, especially with GLCs, GLICs, from Yayasan Hasana to Yayasan Petronas, Yayasan Maybank. They are actively working together with social enterprises that are providing solutions out there. But I think we can take a step further. I think the industry as a whole, or the sector as a whole, would benefit if we were to develop also the investment and capital front. I think a lot of engagement can be done to, match and facilitate funding between social entrepreneurs as well as the investment community, so that the sector can scale. Because at the moment, as we look at the sector as a whole, many social enterprises in the country are relatively in the early stages. So they need to take, the support needs to be given to them so that they can scale, so that the impact is meaningful. And the beauty about this, Nabila, is social enterprise actually supports the government, because in today's age with fiscal constraints and all that, the government cannot do everything. I think the model of charity is, while it is good and it has benefit the country and globally, people and environment that are in need of support, but I think what social enterprises bring to the market or to the country is the ability to be able to, spread the risk, be more sustainable. So, basically, that's in terms of funding. I think to develop further beyond grant and funding, but looking at more innovative. Even with this regard, I think alternative platform like crowdfunding and P2P lending is also something that can be, developed further in order to support the sector. Because we need the sector to grow bigger and larger, because the need is also increasing with climate change, with all sort of issues that the world is facing today.
So let's look at the human capital development aspects now. What targeted initiatives can Malaysia actually implement to cultivate a generation of leaders equipped with a unique blend of business and social impact expertise required to drive the social enterprise sector post-pandemic especially?
There are many things that the government could do in this regard to be considered, because a budget is only 2 days away. One of them is to promote and this concept of social entrepreneurship. I think it can start at a very early age. I think as a country, we are pushing towards, developing more entrepreneurs, more innovation, more services and innovative products to the market. So I think with that regard, the government can, promote social entrepreneurship at an early age. If there are programs or sessions on entrepreneurship, I think the element of social entrepreneurship can be introduced, so that we have a larger pool of talents that are aware that this can be something that aspire towards. I think more immediate in the short term, universities, programs can also include curriculum that, promote entrepreneurship, promote various innovative business models, create exposure. And I think another thing that the government could do as well is to encourage more support from the, GLC, GLICs, as well as the government agencies, to expand the program, not only limited to the basic of social entrepreneurship, but also how do you go beyond? How do we even export our social enterprises so that they can not only tackle issues locally, at a local level, state level, national level, but also expand them to the region? I think this is very timely, considering that Malaysia is actually taking on the mantle of Asian Championship next year.
So within these 2 minutes, can you actually give your insights on how can this budget 2025 be utilized to create a high-impact, resilient ecosystem for social enterprises, and what key financial and regulatory levers should be prioritized to maximize their growth potential? And also, how can the government ensure that this budget initiatives for social enterprises are strategically designed to drive both short-term and also long-term recovery, sustainable socio-economic transformation across the country?
You strike the nail right on the head there, Nabila. I think the key thing is to leverage and be strategic about it. I think it cannot be treated as a small industry, because globally we see the potential and impact of social entrepreneurship. So what I wish and I hope for the government to consider is to look at, more sustainable, expansive, and holistic way of supporting social entrepreneurship, so that we can grow the sector from Masala on Wheels, from Epic Homes, but we want to create more heroes and larger heroes so that it's something that we can take pride on, a country that is innovative, but at the same time impactful, not just to the country, but to the region and globally as well. So as a whole, yeah. So that's what I hope and I think can share from this sharing, Nabila.
All right, I would like to say thank you to Ahmad Azwar Zainuddin, the Chief Executive Officer of Satu Creative, for sharing your insights and for sharing your time as well. And all of our discussion can be found on astroawani.com and all of our social media platforms. More Belanjawan updates after this, so stay tuned and don't go anywhere. We'll go for a short break. We'll be right back.